At one point, did you fall in love with him?
I beg your pardon?
Well, I know about the affair.
He told you about us?
Well, I didn't have to.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Coach Nyla.
And it's Coach Fatimah.
And we are co-wives as well as co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
And okay, so this video is a little different. We actually received a clip of a movie to react to, or I guess to get our feedback or response, reaction, whatever, to. And the movie is called
Anything But a Man.
Anything But a Man. And now here's the deal. We're going to give our reactions to it. You know, the people are in here, they're not Muslim, and we're not giving any fatwa and all these other things like that. We're just giving our reaction to what was sent to us. Everybody who watched our videos and on our channel are not Muslim. So we're not going to go and be judgy and all these other things when it comes to the things that we are sent. So
I wanted to thank you for what you've done for my husband. It's not easy to get an American visa, and my children are really grateful.
Oh, it's no problem. No. Max is a good man.
So how is it that a beautiful woman like you is not married yet?
Wow. It's difficult to find a good relationship in the U.S. People are too busy working, trying to make money.
I think it's not good. Yeah, I think love should come first. Because you can enjoy love without money, but you cannot enjoy money without love.
You are a very wise woman, Belle.
But you are the educated one. So, how did you first come to know my husband?
Oh, he was referred to me by one of my other workers.
I see. And at one point, did you fall in love with him?
I beg your pardon?
Well, I know about the affair.
He told you about us?
Well, I didn't have to.
So, you knew all along and you were this nice to me?
Well, you've only given love to my husband. How could I hate you for that?
Wow. See, in the U.S., no woman could say that to another woman.
That's because in your country, it's all about your possessions, but you cannot own a person.
okay, it's still some parts of the clip that's still here. We got like probably a couple minutes or something like that. But this was an interesting part, to, I guess, discuss and stop on, because we've talked about this a number of times. And my co-wife, she's done a number of videos on them to talk about possessions. Our husbands are not our possessions. So we tend to see that, even though we are from the U.S. Yeah. So that's the kind of interesting thing, because she was like, no woman in the U.S. would, say that type of thing or whatever the case may be. But we're from the U.S., but we're also Muslim too. So we understand that people are not possessions, or people don't own other people and things like that. Our husbands aren't our possessions. So that was really interesting. But the thing that got me was when she stated that you only gave love to my husband. I cannot be mad at you for that. To me, that's on another level because I could think about, jealousies and insecurities and things like that that can boil up within, me being a woman, and someone else providing something that you feel like you should be providing, for your husband. So to be able to be on that level to say, how can I be mad at you? And then it goes into the almost in a way of the minding your marriage and minding your relationship type of thing. It's like, okay, well, even though this, like I said, we're not saying that this is okay. We're not saying that it's ethical and all this other things like that. I'm looking at it as if the relationship is the relationship. You have this separate relationship and this separate relationship. I can't do anything about this relationship over here. So how can I get mad at you for providing something that a person that I love desires or needs, type of thing like that. So it just was a whole different level for me when I heard that.
Well, for me, it wasn't just that. It was that in that moment, you start to understand that an individual can be provided with an emotion from two different people simultaneously. And I think about my parents, or the having parents and having a child. Whether the parents like each other or not, they provide love to that child at the same time. Our parents probably couldn't stand each other, and they broke up by the time I was 3, but they loved me during the time in which they didn't care too much about each other, or they didn't love each other, or they weren't close to one another. They were cordial enough to speak, but that's where it ended. So I think about how sometimes we want so much control that we don't understand that you can't do something about someone else loving someone at the same time in which you do, or feeling sad for them, or being angry, or being hurt by them, or being betrayed, or feeling like you're celebrating them at the same time. Because we're people, and because we are people, and we share this world with other people that love us. Love happens. Happiness and all those other things, all those other emotions can happen simultaneously, being provided from two different people. And I love the confidence of his wife. She wasn't nervous about what she said. It was out of her mouth. She was unbothered by it. And the control that she had was incredible. It's just so rare to actually see that in the U.S. It's rare. It's not something that's common. Or else we wouldn't get so many comments about, what did somebody say in the comments yesterday? I'd rather my husband murder me than marry again. I'm like, really? You rather him murder you? Because somebody decided that they wanted to marry him, and he decided he wanted to marry them back the same way he decided to marry you, and you decided to marry him back and agree upon it? I was just like, wow, that's that possessiveness. That's that control. Mm-hmm. And there's manipulation in that statement. Mm-hmm. Because if you say it to him, well, I'd rather you murder me.
Or if you do something that would be harmful for me and you, that would be just devastating, than to do something that is honorable. So yeah,
that's extreme. So yeah.
Yeah, and I like that, just like what you said about that, like, in the States, it's just different, or in the US or in America, whatever the case may be. It's just the mentalities are different, and the way things are done. And we've heard that from a lot of our followers and our commenters that are from, other countries. They're like, oh, this is normal. Polygyny is normal. This is whatever. I grew up in this or whatever. Mm-hmm. So the whole mindset is totally different. Yeah.
Pardon interruption. We want to share with you something that's very important, a project that we've been working on and empowering people with, called the Polygamy Masterclass. I conduct a 4-part men's polygamy masterclass where we go through the 4 stages of polygamy. So when we're talking about the idea stage, the what to expect stage, to transitioning, as well as the new normal, which includes a whole bunch of stuff in between there. All right, of course, include leadership and financial things as well. Now, I want men to check that out by going to polygamymasterclass.com. In addition to having access to the live courses as well as the pre-recorded ones, you also get downloads, you get access to me directly. So let's get busy if you really are serious about practicing polygamy in a healthy manner.
Yes, and in our Women's Polygamy Masterclass, we train on preparedness in polygamy.
In addition to connecting with your co-wife and everything in between.
So make sure you go to polygamymasterclass.com for higher level education. Now back to your video.
I'm sorry. I feel terrible because I'm not the sort of woman that comes between someone and their marriage.
So you're leaving them?
I can't lie to you. I can't. Well, I love Max very much. Like I've loved no other man, and could you be accepting of that?
Well, it's not about my acceptance. I'm Max's wife and the mother of his children. I will always be there. And you should know he'll never leave me. Can you accept that?
Ooh, okay, so that's pretty much the end of the clip, and I see why people wanted us to respond to it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really interesting too, because I really liked where the wife was able to have this conversation with her. She's like, look, let's address the elephant in the room type of thing. Mm-hmm. So that was actually pretty cool. Yeah. And, I'm saying cool as just a blanket, reaction. But for her to be able to come to her and let her know that, look, for one, yeah, he didn't have to tell me. I know, my husband, and I know the things, and everything like that. So I'm very well aware. So, it's no need to hide and, play like it's something that is not type of thing. That was really, really good. I like that. And the thing of where so the other woman letting it be known that, I love him, I love him more than I loved any other man, type of thing. I apologize for, coming in between, I'm not that type of person, and that's an interesting thing too, because sometimes you have people think that, and my co-wife said it like right before we paused and had talked about the first segment about that you can't get mad or control what a person feels for another person. So sometimes we don't have that control, we're like, oh man, I hate that I even let myself get into this type of position. So then you got other people that's beating themselves up about putting themselves in this particular position and just letting their feelings take over and different things like that. But she said, she's like, I love him. Can you handle that? But then the wife was like, look, I'm his wife. I'm the mother of his kids. We have this history. We have this thing. We love each other too. I'm not going anywhere. He's not divorcing me. He's not leaving me. So can you handle that?
She said he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Yeah. So
and we already knew she wasn't
going anywhere.
Right. She would have went.
She's like, he's not going anywhere. He's not leaving me. So can you handle that?
And if we could control people loving each other, I dare y'all to try to do it.
Good luck.
If you can do that, do that. Because if you can do it, you build different. And it's an impossibility. The control that they had. What I liked about this conversation, although it was not an easy one, it was not violent. Mm-hmm. It was a controlled environment. It was gentle. Mm-hmm. Like and people, that was a movie. Look, this happens every day. Yeah. This is the movie is getting the idea from life. This is not fiction. Right? So, but this is real life, and I just love how the two women were able to sit down and have this conversation without calling each other names. Mm-hmm. And then the solution for all of this. Let me just jump right over there, y'all, because it would be clear to me to go there, but I'll get off on the tangent of them communicating gently. But the solution to all this is polygamy. Yeah. And I would want to bring that up because we're sitting here, two women married to the same man, but I see how this woman says, I love him, and I won't give any spoilers away, but you know, she loves him, and then the wife is accepting of that. That was incredible to me. But I'm like, well, the solution, and you know, we both sitting here, so we know, is polygyny. If he could practice polygyny,
If they knew that was an option,
that structure would be all the way different. There would be honor placed here. And we've talked about and trained on honor before. Especially, I mean, you should have honor in your marriage anyway, but especially in a poly situation, there needs to be a lot of honor, a lot of boundaries need to be set. And this gentle communication is just beautiful between these two women. I love it. I love it. I love it. And they gave each other so much clarity.
yes,
and he wasn't there.
I love that.
He was not sitting in the middle. So I love how he wasn't there. And it was like a really short conversation, but the short conversation was so powerful.
Yeah, I love that you said that. The clarity, because that was the thing. Coach Fatimah talks about that a lot, and she talks about when we spoke, you know, it's getting clarity, you know, so, and without the husband being
it was similar. The content was that's a good point.
So that is really funny to see that, because people think that it's like, Coach was like, oh, there's a movie, oh, this is fake, or oh, it's fiction. If you have the maturity, if you are, you know, if you are understanding that there are going to be times where we may have some uncomfortable conversations, and let's, you know, bite the bullet, deal with the elephant in the room, or whatever the case may be, and get it all out here just for the sake of clarity, just for clarity's sake. Just for clarity's sake, you know, it tells a lot about you as a person, and you know, your character. And it also shows what your relationships will look like in the future, because you can do that, you know, with one another, whether it was between those two or whether it was between her and her husband. Either way, you know, it definitely shows a level of maturity that is really hard to find nowadays. And we're just trying to help, you know, people see that and develop that type of thing as they go through their relationships, and, you know, develop outstanding relationships and marriages as well. So.
Yeah, so we hope that you all enjoyed this reaction because you asked for it, so we gave it to you. And blew it up. So now, make sure, what are we going to leave in the comments? Ooh, polygyny is a solution. People be like,
I like that. Polygyny is a solution. I love that.
Polygyny is a solution.
Pollution? No.
It's not the pollution.
Polygyny is a solution.
They're going to get mad.
No, polygyny is a solution. Leave that in the comments. If you guys made it this far, congratulations. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video.
Because why?
Because sharing is caring. Right. So, yes, until next time, make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level
every single day.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Peace.
Here are 3 ways Outstanding Personal Relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships.
And make sure you sign up for our email list, and you can actually email us at support@Outstanding Personal Relationships, where you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored, as well as exclusive access to our lives and bonuses.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more polygyny education, make sure you visit polygamymasterclass.com. Now, if you're looking for coaching or counseling with either Coach Fatimah or Coach Nyla, you can find them at.
Make sure you visit me at CoachFatimah.com.
And myself at CoachNyla.com.
That's how we can help you. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.